see through this and see what's behind. Got no way to prove it, so maybe I'm lying. But I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. Take a look in the mirror. What do you see? You see it clearer, or you deceive in what you believe. If I'm only human after all, and you're only human after all, don't put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. Some people got the real problems. Some people out of love. Some people think I can solve one, but Lord heavens above, I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. Don't ask my opinion and ask me to lie. I'm beg for forgiveness for making you cry. For making you cry. I'm only human after all. You're only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. Oh, some people got the real problems. Some people out of love. Some people think I can solve them. Lord heavens above, I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. 'Cause I'm only human, I made mistakes. I'm only human, that's all it takes. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. 'Cause I'm no prophet or Messiah. You should go looking somewhere higher. 'Cause I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. 'Cause I'm only human. I do what I can. I'm just a man. Do what I can, don't put your blame on me. Don't put your blame on me.
Beautiful. Raven Goldman, great job. Come over here. Come and join us. That was so gorgeous. Thank you very much. Come in, sit down. That's Jamie Dornan, Keanu, Whoopi, Denzel. There you all are. Very good. Woo.
Look for a small one.
Wait. Come on.
Right.
Get up. Yo.
Nice one.
Come on inside, man.
Are you sure?
Yeah, man.
All right.
Oh.